some of y'all have known me your whole life, like my mom. And a lot of you met me in different stages of my life, and you know it has been a hell of a ride. If you didn't know, I used to be 400 pounds and very unhappy. I suffer from trauma. Since we have babies in the room, I'll just say trauma. That led to that weight gain. And I got to a point in my life where I needed to make that change or I was going to be on the other side of the veil. And so what I did was I wrote this book to chronicle how I got where I got and how I got here. Because now I'm living the life that I dreamed about all those years. I'm literally living my dreams. And I'm testimony that that can happen. It is possible. So I'm going to read a few passages. Think of it like a preview to a movie. So I'm going to leave y'all with some cliffhangers because I don't want y'all to know everything. I'm going to try not to get emotional because I am a Capricorn. We don't do that in public. But I'm also Sagittarian energy, and they do that in public.
You're also my daughter. I do that in public.
So I want to first start out by reading the dedication because it's super important to me. This book, as well as all that I am and ever hope to be, is dedicated to two beings who had a tremendous hand in who I am today. My mom, Carmen, and my grandmother, Dana Lee. There are not enough words to express my love and gratitude to you both. I am covered by you daily, Mama, from the ancestral realm. And by you, Mommy. May you both continue to bless and guide me always. I love you. If anybody was here when my grandmother was here, she has so much love. And I was her first grandchild. And she watched my pain firsthand because she lived with me for the last 6 years of her life. But she also got to watch me change into almost who I am today. And it's so funny because throughout the years, she would always end the call with, I love you, and don't forget to pray. When I got to a certain point, she was like, I love you, and don't forget to pray to lose weight. I knew I made it when one day she said, I love you, and don't forget to pray for a husband. So now she moved that prayer on to something else. She's already achieved that one, so it's like, now let's move forward. So, now while I could spend the next 10 pages thanking everyone who has had a positive impact on my life, for the sake of time and space, I will have to limit it to just a few. But know that if you indeed had a positive interaction with me that helped me get to the place in my life that I am now, I am grateful for you. Thank you all. And that is everybody in this room. At one point in time, you helped me along my journey to get to be where I am today. Now, many people will probably speculate why I'm writing this book and putting my business out there, because it's Black folk, we don't do that. I have trepidation about writing this book, that there will be some critics who will ridicule me as they will believe I'm promoting cutting your body or certain spiritual practices that I'll speak about in the coming chapters. And I would have to admit, yes, I am nervous about some of the backlash that might come, not only from strangers, but from people within my circle. However, as the old folks say, my soul is settled. So I know it's time and I'm ready for whatever this mission is choosing to take me next. Also, my journey doesn't just contain weight issues. It contains a host of other challenges that life may bring emotionally, physically, and spiritually. Therefore, anyone reading this book may read about an experience I've gone through, and it may resonate with what you have experienced in your life and have come out on the other side victorious. So putting my story out there, good, bad, and ugly, if it will help at least one person to understand they are not alone,
There are people who may not have had the same story, but the outcome is the same, and are inspired by my journey so far to start the path to change theirs. Then it was all worth it. So let us begin. I had to fight to be here. Well, not me personally, but my mom. She fought hard to make sure I was brought into this world because there were people that didn't want me to be here. And that energy influences the person growing inside the womb. My origin story started where I was not wanted. So I carried a lesson of unworthiness into this life's journey. This resulted in ushering in a need to prove myself and please people simply because I felt I wasn't welcomed in this plane of existence. What we forget is that everything, and I do mean everything, is designed to move your needle along on your soul's journey in your incarnation. And I'm a firm believer in that. Once you're inside that womb, that baby hears everything, feels everything, sees everything with this eye. So what you're putting on that child is going to be one of the pillars in that child's life. So when I started out, I heard people didn't want me to live. That's a heavy burden to carry before you can even talk or walk. So I just want to put that little gem in you. Know that these babies, these tiny souls, are listening to everything you say. You are influencing these wonderful beings coming into this world and shaping who they're going to be or what lessons they're going to have to overcome. So, like the Bible, I'm going to skip from that part down the line. You know how when Jesus from 12:33, we don't know what happened. I'll let y'all read about it. So, yeah. This is God finally talked back. And it all makes sense when you read up until the time God finally talked back. Just when you think it doesn't get any worse. Like most folks, I do like to eat. Don't get me wrong. I love some soul food, seafood, and Italian cuisine. And I still do. Those are my top three. The more sauce, the better. What's crazy is that I can't remember the moment food switched from being a weapon, which I used as a kid, to a comforter. I didn't wake up one day and consciously use food as a comfort. I didn't say, I ain't got a man, I'm going to eat. Or I hate my job, let me feed my failure. I think relying on food as a point of comfort came on gradually. If I felt sad, I would eat to console myself. If I felt happy, I would eat to reward myself. It became both a consolation prize and it also became a grand prize. So I didn't consciously make the decision to ritualize food. It was a natural, gradual thing that occurred. I don't think I knowingly recognized this pattern until 2015, but up until that point, I didn't realize food was becoming everything to me as far as a boyfriend, a lover, a confidant, and a companion. By 2015, I didn't know if it was PCOS, which I was diagnosed with a few years back, which I still don't know if I truly had. The repeated assaults that happened to me, or by this time, the addiction to all the wrong foods that led to my rapid and steady weight gain. But boom, I did that. And like half of America, I would diet or yo-yo diet for years to no avail. I can tell you some stories about the whole dieting experience. I can, in fact, write a Bible book, like the Book of Kings, to tell my diet history. So may I present to you the first book of diets. I begat the paid weight loss diet program. Then I begat the cabbage food diet. Then I begat the starvation diet. Then I begat the grapefruit diet. Then I begat the ice cream diet. Then I begat the 3-day diet. Then it moved on to begat the 4-day diet. Then I begat the carb-only diet. Then I begat the meat-only diet. Then I begat the fruits and veggies-only diet. Then I begat the liquid diet. Then I begat the blood type diet. Then I begat the diabetes diet. Then I begat take the diet pills diet. Then I begat 2 shakes and a meal diet. Then I begat the famous beach diet. Then I begat make shit up as I go along starvation. And all I was begetting was bigger. Because what you don't know is once you diet and you lose 20, 30 pounds, your body is like, oh, you trying to default from the default. Now that's your fault. You should have got up here. So we're going to put that weight back on and we're going to bring some friends. So that's exactly what was happening with me. Now I do want to say this out loud in public. Because while I was going through all those diets, and I was getting all that help from my friends and family, or family as I call them, ooh, she did lash out. But there was chemical imbalances and addictions, and you don't know how your body's going to react, and you're angry at yourself, and you're angry at your situation, so you take it out on the people that are closest to you. So I would like to say to all of those that I did that to, I'm sorry. Please forgive me and know that I am better now. So now when I do lash out, it's not because I have a chemical imbalance, it's because I'm a bitch. But a healed one. And that makes all the difference. And I mean bitch in the acronym of beauty inside this colored human. And when you violate that, oh, she gonna tap back. And that's just what it is. So I just wanted to put that on record because, yeah, that's been thrown in my face a couple times. So, let's move on. Again, I'm skipping. But there were some things that happened when I went on a trip in Mexico that was very unfortunate. It's in the book, but I'm going to start after that happened. Again, I told y'all cliffhangers. Right after Mexico, around September, one of my friends recommended a life coach she went to that helped her tremendously. At first, I wasn't receptive to it, but one day, something nudged me to give it a try. So I reached out to see if this would help. She challenged me to talk about the past and try to find a resolution to help facilitate going forward with a better future. I remember getting to the end of the course, and I couldn't get past the last lesson. The last lesson consisted of looking back at my traumas and trying to make peace with what had happened to move forward. But the problem was, I didn't have peace. I had one question, and one question only. Why? I asked that question even though, as Christians, and that's what I was at the time, we're not supposed to question God. But she was a minister and therefore a representative, so I posed the question. Why? She was like, what? I said, why? Why did God allow these things to happen to me? I'm a good person and I need to know why, and I can't go forward without that. At that point, I realized what had been blocking me this entire time. This is when I identified my arrested development. I needed to know why these things happened to me. I'm a good person. I'm a good daughter. I'm a good sister, niece, friend, employee, whatever other title and label you want to put on me. I didn't deserve all that happened to me in my life, and I can understand peaks and valleys, but I seem to spend most of my time in the valley. And I wanted to know why. She looked at me and replied, sometimes we don't get the why. And sometimes bad things happen to good people. Bullshit. I couldn't accept that answer. I remember crying right there in her dining room because I knew that was the nail in the coffin for me and God. I never finished the end of the